Got some 16 minutes on the dunk side of 7. Are you in tune to Nice Radio 90.3, 96.7, 101.3? Yes, hoping that you're having a fantastic morning. It's the weekend. The weekend is here. Good morning to you. Good morning to you wherever you are. Let me say good morning to all the farmers and those of you just coming back from the land, taking out your gold, cattle, or what have you. And let me say good morning to all the market vendors who have been up since the wee hours of the morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to the friends at home, and if you're just leaving, good morning if you're on the road right now. And wherever you're heading to, get there safely. God Spicy with you, and I'll be keeping the company right up until 10 when Carlisle will be in for the program City View. Coming up at 7:30, we have Breton Horn, and at 9:15, we have Vin Abbott with the Healthy Vibes. Also coming up, we have the birthday celebrations, the news, sports, the weather. So stay tuned.
Whenever I'm contemplating my country, because the people suffering there for so many years, and yet they do nothing to change the state of affairs. Why we tolerating oppression, I just don't know. Well, it must be the suffering we love so. So tell me, are we just going to stand around and let them conmen masters nice country down? I really want to know, are we going to tolerate more hypocrisy in this state? Now tell me, are we? Answer the question. Are we? Whatever you're going to do, just do it now. Because this country's got to change somehow. All we do is grumble when we feel pressure, but grumbling won't make things get any better. If we don't get involved and be more responsible, well then the next generation is in serious trouble. How the hell things will change when we making no efforts? I tell you it's time to get up for your butt. So tell me, are we just going to stand around and let them demons mash this nice country down? I really want to know, are we going to organize? Or are we going to compromise? Now tell me, are we? Answer the question. Are we? Whatever you're going to do, just do it now. Because this country's got to change somehow. people face the reality. Those heartless leaders don't give a damn about we. They already know how we think, so they don't worry. They're taking advantage of our complacency. Now those parts we put in power get what they wanted. They just so they taking the people for granted. So tell me, are we just going to stand around and let them bandits smash this nice country down? I really want to know, are we going to stand and fight and make sure that this country run right? Now tell me, are we, answer the question. Are we, whatever you're going to do, just do it now. Because this country's got to change somehow. If we really love we country like we say, let's get practical, we've got a role to play. Because all the time we lapsing and fooling around, the oppressors dividing plan just to keep it down. It's this lackadaisical attitude we possess. I tell you, it's that's what have us in this mess. So tell me, are we just going to stand around and let them vultures mash this nice country down? I really want to know, are we going to always be victims of this society? Now tell me, are we, answer the question. Are we, whatever you're going to do, just do it now. Because this country's got to change right now. Temperatures rising. It's getting higher and higher and higher. Feel the heat generating. In the streets as the music plays, the people break away. Got me a fine lady. Wow, she dancing so close to me. She really turns me on. Telling me, let's dance to the soca. Let's dance to the beat. Come on, let's get down to the soca sound. La 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 la. It's a celebration. La 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 la. A soca celebration. La 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 la. All across the nation. La 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 la. Let me see your motion.
we're jamming, and we ain't gonna stop, taking it to the top. Come on, baby, let's dance to the soca, let's dance to the beat. Come on, let's get down to the soca sound. La 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 la, it's a celebration. La 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 la, a soca celebration. La 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 la, all across the nation. La 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 la, let me see your motion. Well, well. If you wanna have some fun, just grab someone and come on down. Party people on the move. Come on, people, let's check this groove. Party's getting hotter. The music's getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. I'm so happy that I'm part of this get down that drives these people wild. Everyone's so happy. They're dancing, winding through the street, moving to the soca beat. Did you hear me? Let's dance to the soca. Let's dance to the beat. Come on, let's get down to the soca sound. La 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 la, it's a celebration. La 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 la, soca celebration. La 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 la, all across the nation. La 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 la, let me see your motion. Well, well. A celebration. It's a celebration. All across the nation. Let me see your motion. La 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 la. La 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 la. 10 days in the street, 10 days we're having fun. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yeah. 10 days out of life, let's make this party right. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Come celebrate with me, yeah. Come celebrate with me, yeah. Dance to the beat, let the music fill with your feet. Dance to the beat, let the music fill with your feet. Yeah, let's celebrate. La 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 la. It's a celebration, a sweet celebration. Oh, oh, wanna get down to this funky sound. Get down to this soca sound. La 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 la.
Today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tomorrow, the Caribbean. Nice Radio. 90.3, 101.3, 96.7 FM. Today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tomorrow, the Caribbean. Nice Radio. 90.3, 101.3, 96.7 FM.
Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brayton Horn. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brayton Horn will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brayton Horn at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
This society need a spectacle. It might help us to see some evil. This society need a spectacle. Honestly.
Well, good morning to all our listeners, wherever you're tuning in from across St. Vincent and the Grenadines and beyond. It's always good to have you in our company this morning. And I'm especially glad to be joined by our guest, Brayton Horn. Good morning.
Good morning, Spicy.
All right. So before we dive into looking into the bag, let's take a moment to catch our breath and reflect on a few things shaping our national conversation today. First up, let's take a quick look at the weather. A tropical wave continue to influence conditions across the islands. And today, you can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorm or two. And winds are coming in gently from the east southeast at around 5 to 15 kilometers per hour, and out on the open water, seas remain slight to moderate with swells between zero point 0.5 to 1.5 meters. So if you're heading outdoors or out to sea, do take the necessary precaution.
Well, let me use the opportunity to say good morning or good afternoon, good evening, whatever your time zone. Hello to you from those of us here and of you from the outside. The is partly cloudy in London at the moment. The temperature is 16 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's hope that whatever thunderstorm the Vincentians are experiencing at the moment is not too severe, and that people cope well with it. So hello to you and welcome.
Thank you very much, Burton. And those who are heading out today, you would want to take along your umbrella with you.
Yeah, as we say here, take your brolly along with you.
All right. So this week, Burton, we had a homicide. A lady was chopped and killed. And some good news is that someone is in custody.
Well, crime continues to rise and rise and rise in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially serious crimes, especially heinous crimes, and so whenever attempts are made to solving these crimes, it's always a good thing. But the curbing of the crime is something which needs to be looked at.
Definitely, especially when it involves women.
Well, especially when it involves anyone, for that matter. But you're quite right. You're quite right. Women are taking a battering in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the moment. Domestic violence and rape, sexual assaults, and everything else. And so women are at the forefront as it stands. But crime, generally speaking, and heinous crimes in the country seem to be going unabated, really.
Definitely. I hope that more can be involved in helping to solve crime. There was a talk one time about pan against crime. You know, we need to have more things to bring that awareness to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, take it into the schools, you know, everywhere. We need to have this on the forefront. I mean, we cannot stop crime, but we need to, you know, we need to have that awareness.
Well, St. Vincent needs more than just sound bites. And pan against crime, for whatever it meant or whatever it means, seems not to have realized the intended efforts really. So we need more than just sound bites. What does Pan Against Crime mean? That's the thing. What does it mean? You mentioned taking it into the schools. Taking what into the schools? That's the question. What needs to happen is that Vincentians, there needs to be a re-education of the Vincentian people. People need to understand that crime simply does not pay. I mean, using an old cliche. There's a lot of factors which go into the commission of crime, so to speak, and poverty is something that is linked to crime. This is no secret. Poverty, crime, and poverty seem to go hand in hand, and so as long as extreme poverty exists and continue to exist in a massive way in the country, crime would probably continue to escalate out of control. What we need are policies, not sound bites. We need policies in terms of curbing crime. One could remember that when this administration, the ULP administration, came into office in 2001, they came in on the back of a soundbite, a slogan, which some say they stole from the UK government, the Labour Party, Tony Blair's Labour Party at the time, to be tough on crime and the causes of crime. They've had 25 years, close to 25 years. What have they done? Instead of tough on crime and the causes of crime, what we've had is an escalation in crime year on year on year. What we have had are policies which seem to go against being tough on crime and the causes of crime. We have had PACE, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, that piece of legislation which is supposed to be in place to govern or to supervise, if you like, the police when it comes to investigations and crime. And they've abolished it in St. Vincent and the Grenadines under this administration. So we need more than just sound bites. But I think you and I need an entire year rather than a snippet of a program to discuss that.
For those who have just joined us, you're in tune to A View from the Outside with my guest this morning, Burton Horn. And I know that you're someone who doesn't just talk about the problem, but also digs into what can be done. Burton, as we get into it, I love your take on how we can meaningfully bring crime prevention into our education system and how we shift the conversation from fear to responsibility, from blame into action. And we definitely need that because you know that actions speak louder than words.
Certainly, action does speak louder than words. And again, that's an old cliche, but it's one which has substance in it. And as I said earlier, and running the risk of repeating myself, we need more than just sound bites. We need proper policies in place. We need a government in place that would implement those policies. We need a Minister of National Security who is not afraid to speak on subjects relating to security in the country. We need a Minister of National Security who stands up for his people, for her people, for that matter. And that's what we need in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. More than just words, but action, which speak louder than words.
Definitely. And then, our schools can't just be about academics. It must become spaces of social development, emotional support, and mentorship. And we need trained counselors in every school, not just one per district. We need peer meditation programs. We need more youth-centered, a whole lot, and I can go on and on. So we definitely need a ramp up where that is concerned.
Yes, like I said, Spicy, we need more than just a snippet of a program that to discuss this, and I would relish the opportunity to do so. But yes, the points that you've mentioned are all valid ones.
And definitely, and this is also not just a police issue. This is a national development issue. The rise in violent crime demands a response that is educational, psychological, and spiritual, not just reactive, because by the time the police are involved, often it's already too late. So we need a collaborative effort.
Well, it's not just a police issue, but it is a police issue. That's the thing. It's not just a police issue because the police are all part of society, and crime is what is within society. And so it. Whilst you say it's not a police
It
issue, I agree. But this is not just a police issue. I agree. But it is also a police issue. The police organization is in place to protect and to serve, and they're there to in terms of crime prevention, and they're there in terms of investigation when crimes are committed. So it is a police issue, although not just a police
That's
issue,
right. So
as you
they're
say.
there to protect and to serve. And also, we need a
Indeed,
collaborative unit outside of the police issue.
indeed. And as I said, we could continue this discussion in more depth at
It
another
can go
time,
on.
because there's quite a bit in the bag to come out today, and so I'm conscious of the time.
All right. So we are having the view from the outside for persons who have just joined us. And Burton, he has a big bag this morning. So I'm going to take it over to him. And Burton, let's hear what is in the bag this morning.
I'm not sure about a big bag, but a full bag. Yes. On a view from the outside this week being the 13th of September 2025, we continue our series of going down memory lane to jolt us to always remember the issues of grave importance which have been raised publicly by us in the past. Last week, we took a look down memory lane to two programs which we covered here on A View from the Outside. One of the programs which we looked back on a topic which we covered on Saturday, the 9th of April, 2022, when we looked at the 7 principles of public life, often referred to as the principles of standards in public life, or the Nolan principles. We reminded you that the 7 principles are selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. We also reminded you that these 7 principles were formulated in 1995 because at that time it was recognized that standards in public life in the United Kingdom had fallen to an unacceptably low level, and that action needed to be taken to restore good standards in the country. We also pointed out that the principles were named after a senior judge, Michael Patrick Nolan, who became Lord Nolan, now deceased. He chaired the committee which formulated the principles. Hence, we have the Nolan principles. In the original program, which we did on the 9th of April 2022, which is available in our archives on social media, we examined each principle in turn. We pointed out the importance of remembering that the principles apply to and include anyone and everyone without exception who works as a holder of public office, whether they are elected, selected, or appointed. Last week, we singled out and focused on the principle of leadership. We did so because when one looks at the despicable contents of some social media videos coming out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right from the very top, it is believed that standards in public life continue to fall to a shameful low in the country. Following last week's program, we have been inundated with requests to delve further into the other principles. It is worth repeating again that that program, along with others, are available in our archives on social media and can be viewed and listened to at your convenience. That said, however, we have acceded to the many requests, and in this program this week, we take a deeper look at integrity, accountability, and honesty. Regarding integrity, the Nolan Principle states that, and I quote, holders of public office must avoid placing themselves under any obligation to people or organizations that might inappropriately try to influence them in their work. They should not act or take decisions in order to gain financial or other material benefits for themselves, their family, or their friends. They must declare and resolve any interests and relationships. Unquote. It is clear that without integrity, corruption becomes rife and standards in public life can hit rock bottom. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is said that some civil servants and others who hold public office do things at the behest of politicians whom they allow to inappropriately influence their work rather than maintaining their integrity. Many Vincentians have suffered because of this. These include Bigger Biggs, who lost his multi-million-dollar business, and Cameron Dickey Balcom, who lost out on contracts which were unfairly and inappropriately awarded to others. Civil servants and others who hold public office need to be constantly reminded, and they need to constantly remind themselves and practice the standard of integrity in public life. Failure to do so makes them aiders and abettors to the degeneration of standards in the country. As far as accountability is concerned, the Nolan Principle states, and I quote, holders of public office are accountable to the public for their decisions and actions and must submit themselves to the scrutiny necessary to ensure this, unquote. Clearly, as far as this principle is concerned, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has fallen way short of any acceptable standard. Those elected to government have constantly refused to provide accountability to the public. They refuse to provide accountability to the people. They have even ignored the constitution of the country, the highest law of the land, and not provide the requisite accountability. The recent meeting of the Public Accounts Committee, which seems to be shrouded in secrecy, is still a far way off what the principle of accountability and the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines requires. There is still no accountability of the missing millions which are missing from the nation's purse. There is still no accountability of the cost of the Argyle International Airport. There is still no accountability of the Petro-Carib money. It must be noted that the lack of accountability could only lead to speculation and the accusation of corruption and misbehavior in public office, especially when it is being speculated that millions of dollars are being held in private bank accounts in Dubai, the USA, and elsewhere. Pertaining to honesty, the Nolan Principle simply states that, and I quote, holders of public office should be truthful. Unquote. This principle indicates that the imperative for holders of public office be truthful. I repeat that. This principle indicates that it is imperative for holders of public office to be truthful. This principle is, if practiced, makes it much easier to believe those who hold public office when they speak on matters of public interests. A country cannot be effectively run on lies and untruths. If lies and untruths become the order of the day, things fall apart. With regards to this principle, it is often said that the truth has been elusive in many instances in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this has led to many rhetorical questions being asked, including, was the truth ever told about the various attempts and eventual deposit of $1 million in cash in the account of the Accountant General, the account of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Was the truth ever told in the Yogi Farrell's case? Where is Yogi Farrell? Was the truth ever told about who murdered Glenn Jackson and why he was murdered? Will the truth ever be told about the June 2012 shooting, death of Customs Officer Othniel White of Union Island? When will the Venezuelans be returned to St. Vincent and the Grenadines as promised by the ULP government for the long-awaited inquest? Was the truth ever told about the many accounts held by Vincentians who are high up, revealed by the Panama Papers, and of the millions of dollars held in these accounts? Was the truth ever revealed, or will the truth ever be revealed about some in the upper echelons of the ULP and the millions of dollars held in bank accounts in the USA, in Dubai, and elsewhere? Was the truth ever told about the death of Edgar Cruikshank? What is the truth of the shooting of Cornelius John on his own private property? Why has he been denied justice? Why has he been denied justice? Will he ever get justice? Will the truth about the February 2022 death of the 18-year-old cyclist CJ Weeks following an incident allegedly involving the police ever be told to the public? Will answers ever be provided of the many allegations of rape and sexual assaults on the women of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including Michelle Andrews? Who instigated the infamous rape rally? Will the alleged perpetrator or perpetrators ever be punished? What is the real reason why the Police and Criminal Evidence Act was abolished in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Is the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the RSVPF, there to serve one family, or is it there to serve the people of the country of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Honesty, truth, as a standard in public life is vital. We here on A View from the Outside are of no doubt that an adoption of the Nolan Principles will immensely benefit St. Vincent and the Grenadines and its people. The onus is therefore now on the people to take the correct stand to ensure that standards improve. Until next week, this is Bretton Horn with A View from the Outside, with a reminder to send your feedback, as usual, to the email address aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. We invite you to visit and to like our Facebook page at our YouTube channel and our YouTube channel at A View from the Outside. Have a pleasant Saturday, have a wonderful Sunday, and have a productive week ahead. All the best to you and the listeners, Spicy.
Thank you. Songs like Britain, you building a powerful and necessary conversation around the governance of public trust and national ethics through the Nolan Principles. And you touch on integrity, accountability, and justice this time, and raise a haunting question of whether real answers will ever be given here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Then it is fitting to respond, yes, with such a good reflection. So, Burton, let me thank you once again, and do have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Spicy. All the best to you and the listeners.
Now we have Dave on the line. Good morning, Dave. Let's try again. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Dave.
Yes, time may not permit, but very powerful message coming from A View from the Outside with Britton Horn this morning. And those principles, I doubt, with who run things in this country, those Nolan principles could ever be utilized or be used as an example in this country. I have my doubts about that. And at this time, when you're preparing for our next general elections, all hell have already broken loose in this country with all what we are hearing, lies and more lies, propaganda and all of that. Our women being subjected to all kind of criminal actions. So we have to come again, maybe in a new generation, to have some of these Nolan principles being adhered to, being practiced in our country. So my appeal to Vincentians, those who listen, very powerful message to take into account. And when I say account, we don't get account for what takes place in our country. I say that without no apology. We need accountability. We need integrity. As with the late Sir Vincent Beach has said, if integrity legislation was not brought in this country in the first 100 days, don't look for him. That never materialized, and Sir Vincent Beach has gone. So the history is there, the legacy is there after 25 years of ULP governance. Thank you for the time. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. You have been listening to the program A View from the Outside with Britton Horn, which comes to you every Saturday from 7:30. And there is reply from Dave Roberts. It's time for the news, highlights, and sports. Stay tuned.
Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
is coming to you with the compliments of the following.
We have moved. Lane's Hardware Bay Street is now at Lane's Uptown. We are remodeled with products for your hardware, painting, plumbing, electrical, and gardening projects. Lane's is proud distributor of Inco Power Tools and Supplies. Our building supplies and Grenadines help desk handles construction materials and deliveries for Fancy and Chateaubelair in the north to Union Island in the south. Our location is opposite the KCCU building. Call us at 456-1411 and ask about our free truck and delivery service to Beckway.
Good morning. It's Saturday, the 13th day in the month of September 2025. Welcome to Nice Radio's news, local, regional, and international. According to news reaching Nice Radio's news desk, a man was shot and killed in Layu. This morning, reports indicate that the individual was targeted by an unidentified gunman while on the main road. Nice Radio will bring you further updates in this story. At a village meeting in Fitzhugh on Thursday, North Leeward, NDP candidate Dr. Kishore Shallow took aim at Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, branding him as the king of grumpy. Dr. Shallow also made it clear that he never had any intentions of aligning himself with the ruling Unity Labour Party. We hear more from Dr. Shallow.
I want to speak now. I calling him the king of grumpy. I want to talk about the king of grumpy because I understand the man came to Fitzhugh right above us here by the school and saying that we must not grumble. Grumble after, are they imagine the king of grumbling coming and telling people don't grumble? Eh? Make it make sense. So he came first to Chateaubelair and talking about shallow. And then he came to Fitzhugh and do the same thing and then telling the people don't grumble. Now when you look at that side, let me tell you the way you see at Chateaubelair actually. He went up there and I think Patel mentioned it briefly. He said how I wanted to be on his team. He said I wanted to be an ULP. What a wicked fella. What a joker, Major. Now, people, listen. All they look at the two sides. All they look at the New Democratic Party. With all these beautiful, intelligent, experienced, competent people. All they really feel I go and mess up my reputation and go and join them people there? No. All they really believe that I, Kishore Shallow, going to leave my good NDP family and go join them there? Let me set the record straight. It's important to set the record straight, Sappy. I have never ever been a member of the Unity Labour Party. Never ever. I will never ever be a candidate for the Unity Labour Party. And I say this, that no matter how they beg, and I'm going to tell you all about a begging story another time, not tonight, because time is limited. But no matter how they beg or how they send people to beg me to join them, go back to the master and tell him, no, Kishore Shallow is not leaving his New Democratic Party family.
Dr. Shallow further said while the government continues to speak about agriculture, many farmers across the constituency and the country have not been properly compensated even after significant losses. Dr. Shallow questioned whether this is truly a government that values and supports agriculture and promised that the NDP will bring real transformation to North Leeward and St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a whole. We hear more from Shallow.
Let's start with where they have brought agriculture. You're talking about farmers who've been living by agriculture, sending the children to school for many years. They displaced them from the lands. Displaced farmers from the lands. Sending people up in Tapil, moving people from good farming land and sending them up in Tapil. They give some people some paper saying it's deed up to now, the people can't get the land yet. They haven't compensated the farmers as well. But yet they support in agriculture. I hear after building the quarry, they try to justify it and say, well, they're providing jobs there. About 2 weeks ago, I met a farmer who had lands over there. He told me he had about 20-something people employed. And he was planning to increase that to over 50 people. Now tell me, you're displacing people. Just think about it. You're displacing people from proper farming land for what? $1,200 a year. Major, right? It's $1,200 a year. And putting countless Vincentians, most of them from North Leeward, out of employment and opportunities. Now that is a government who care about agriculture? All right.
That was candidate-elect for North Leeward, Dr. Kishore Shallow, speaking at a community meeting in North Leeward, pledging that under an NDP-led administration, agriculture will receive the priority and respect it deserves. Road repairs and road construction will follow the proper and traditional methodology when the NDP assumes office in a few months. Speaking at a village meeting held on Thursday in the community of Fitzhugh, the Honorable Daniel Cummins addressed the vexing issues of road.
You know, all over this country, the roads are in the condition no one has ever seen them. But just when you reach before Belle Isle, it's not long ago that these clowns took millions of dollars to fix a little piece of road. And you won't believe the number of potholes that exist in that road that they said they fixed. I just want to remind you that it's under NDP that the North Leeward Highway was fixed all the way, and most of it. Under the supervision of Engineer Stewart, that highway was put down in such a way that it is standing strong, even stronger than so many of the roads that these people said they fixed over the years. I want you to understand that what's happening with respect to construction in this country. You know that the Caribbean Development Bank had to withdraw money from a project they were funding here. Why? Because the government failed to carry out the procurement rules. In other words, they didn't issue a contract by following the rules to tender and screen and select properly. Because their emphasis, my friends, is not on fixing the roads. Their emphasis is how much money they could cream off from every project. That is how they function. So they don't give a damn if the contractor fails to do what they're supposed to do, so long as they get the cut. But I want to tell you, under Dr. Shallow, here in North Leeward, with Dr. Friday as your Prime Minister, road repairs and road construction will follow the proper and traditional methodology.
Parliamentary Representative for West Kingstown, the Honorable Daniel Cummins. Construction continues to advance steadily at Honnesville Acute Hospital project, with significant milestone reached across several key buildings. The suspended slab for Building 11 has been fully completed, while preparatory works are underway for the suspended slab on Building 12, with the first casting scheduled for this Saturday. Once completed, Building 11 will house the administrative office and special services, while Building 12 will feature laboratories and a general service waiting area. Meanwhile, foundation works have commenced on Building 9 and 10. Building 9 is designed to host patients' rooms, and Building 10 will accommodate the hospital's emergency section. A farewell reception was hosted at Coconut Grove in honor of the visiting delegation from the Royal Botanical Gardens, Kew marking the conclusion of their 10-day working visit to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The reception was organized by the British High Commission. Delivering remarks, resident British Commissioner Geoffrey Patton expressed appreciation for the team's contributions during their stay, which included workshops, conservation training, and site visits across the island. He noted that the collaboration had strengthened the long-standing relationship between Kew and St. Vincent, emphasizing the delegation's role in capacity building and plant conservation. Governor General Her Excellency Dame Susan Duggan reflected on the historical and cultural significance of St. Vincent Botanical Gardens, which celebrated its 260th anniversary this year. The Governor General highlighted the challenges faced by the gardens over the years due to hurricane and volcanic eruptions, underscoring the importance of restoration efforts. The botanical gardens are a valuable part of our existence and our culture, Duggan said, adding that this new phase of collaboration with Kew is vital to sustaining and reviving the gardens for future generations. Over 20 persons have completed the inaugural Business Continuity Planning for MSMEs workshop held by the Center for Enterprise Development, CED. The 3-day workshop placed at the CED's conference room from September 9 to September 11 was attended by entrepreneurs who operate micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, including 8 women from the southern Grenadine island of Canouan. The goal of the workshop was to empower the participants to equip their businesses with a robust business continuity plan, BCP, to minimize disruptions and safeguard operations, strengthen their business ability to quickly recover and adapt to unforeseen challenges, and help them gain practical knowledge or risk management and business resilience that can be applied directly to the operations. The CED workshop was supported by the United Nations Build Back Equal project, which sponsored 14 women to attend. It covered a range of topics, including hazards in the Caribbean, risk identification and business impact analysis, mapping critical business function, and the process of collecting and analyzing data for developing a business continuity plan. The workshop also examined activities to be conducted for business to continue after the impact of an event and concluded with participants being sensitized on how to complete and test a plan and how to think through potential impacts of hazards on MSMEs. That's MSMEs using various scenarios. Speaking at the brief closing where participants were presented with certificates of completion, CED's training and educator coordinator Keisha Phillips reflected on the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, Hurricane Beryl, the La Soufrière volcanic eruptions of 2000, that should be of 2021, and other disruptions. And finally, in the local news, on September 9, police arrested and charged Kawana Wilkins, a 43-year-old resident of Green Hill, with the offense of wounding. According to investigations, on August 26, the accused unlawfully and maliciously wounded a 26-year-old customer service representative of the same address by striking her on both hands with a Sunset Strong rum bottle. The offense was committed in Green Hill. Wilkins appeared before Kingston Magistrate Court on September 10 and was not required to enter a plea. He was sent to the mental health facility for 2 weeks evaluation. The matter was adjourned and transferred to the Layer Magistrate Court for September 25, 2025. We now take a look at the regional story coming out of Guyana. President Dr. Arfan Ali has recognized several members of discipline services for their outstanding bravery, dedication, and professionalism in upholding law and order. At a special awards ceremony on Thursday, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces commended the ranks for their unwavering commitment to duty and their vital role in ensuring the safety and security of the nation during the recently held 2025 general and regional elections. News from Trinidad: a police constable was found dead inside a guard booth at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Kent House, on Thursday afternoon around 3:30 p.m. Constable Jamal Charles and another officer were on duty when a gunshot was heard. Police said Charles had been speaking with his colleague, who turned his back briefly. Moments later, he heard a gunfire and found Charles with a gunshot wound to his head. In Grenada, Greenlec is enhancing its electricity services with the installation of 2 new generators at its Carriacou plant. The new units will expand capacity to 4.2 megawatts, improving the reliability of supply and catering for future growth in demand. In Barbados, Permanent Secretary Wayne Marshall on Thursday rejected claims of victimization, saying the decision to reassign 6 nurses from the geriatric hospital to district facilities in St. Lucie and St. Philip's, driven by ardent staffing needs and a commitment to maintaining safe, high-quality care across the public health system. In St. Lucia has not yet fully launched a legal cannabis industry, but the groundwork is actively being laid. As the island moves closer to full regulation, authorities are taking deliberate steps to ensure that when the industry does take off, it benefits St. Lucians first. In Dominica, individuals aged 13 to 21 from CARICOM and CARICOM associate countries are encouraged to submit their applications promptly to participate in the 4th edition of the Caribbean STEM Olympiad CSO. Their CSO welcome both individual participants and teams representing schools, clubs, or organizations to compete across 3 age categories. Participants can earn medal, platinum, gold, silver, or bronze, and may also be eligible for cash awards. In Jamaica, despite conceding the September 3 general election to the Jamaica Labour Party (JLP), senior members of the Mark Golden-led People's National Party (PNP) have raised concerns about reports of vote suppression, among other issues. Of the 63 seats contested in the general elections, the JLP won 35, while the remaining 28 was secured by the PNP. At a post-election press conference held at PNP headquarters on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew on Thursday, General Secretary Dayton Campbell said that the activities of the international and international observers of the electoral process were confined polling stations. We'll now take a look at the international story coming out of Latin America. Ex-President Jair Bolsonaro sentenced to more than 27 years in prison for a coup attempt. We hear more in this report.
27 years and 3 months. That's the jail sentence that this Brazilian Supreme Court has given former President Jair Bolsonaro, the first ever Brazilian president to be convicted in a coup trial. Journalists from all over the world are following this trial with a lot of attention, as is the White House. U.S. President Donald Trump has already said he's not pleased with the result.
Well, I watched that trial. I know him pretty well. Foreign leader. I thought he was a good president of Brazil. And it's very surprising that could happen. That's very much like they tried to do with me, but they didn't get away with it at all.
This result here also means that former President Bolsonaro is not going to be able to remain in house arrest, where he has been over the last few weeks. He'll have to go to a prison in a date that is yet to be determined.
News from Brazil. In Canada, the Bank of Canada will cut its overnight rates by 1/4 point on September 17. As the labor market deteriorates and economic activity weakens, according to most economists in a Reuters poll, who also expect at least one more cut next quarter. Last week, officials' data showed the economy shed 65,500 jobs in August, pushing the unemployment rate to a 9-year high outside of pandemic periods. In the USA, the Trump administration announced a new pilot program on Friday to speed the deployment of flying air taxis as companies work to meet regulatory hurdles for advanced air mobility. Still in the USA, we hear more in this report.
Tonight, the breaking news in the killing of Charlie Kirk, the suspect under arrest. The new images tonight, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson now behind bars. We got him. The suspect expected to face state charges for allegedly shooting and killing Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk during his event at Utah Valley University. Tonight, the suspect's family playing a role in his arrest, according to authorities. They say his father recognizing his son from photos released by the FBI. And tonight here, authorities laying out the new timeline, when that suspect allegedly arrived on campus changing clothes and how they say this unfolded. TMZ obtaining video before the shooting showing a man matching his description, appearing to walk with a limp. Law enforcement officials believe he was walking that way to hide that high-powered rifle. And the FBI revealing dramatic video tonight saying it shows the suspect moments after the shooting, jumping from a rooftop to make his escape. And tonight, what they say they found written on the bullets. And this evening here, the remarkable moment, the stark warning from the Republican governor of Utah for all Americans, calling social media a cancer, asking Americans to log off, touch grass, hug a family member, do good in your community, denouncing the violence against Republicans and Democrats. Our team standing by with new reporting right here tonight. Also on this Friday night, the alarming images playing out across the U.S., police responding to fake threats on American campuses, calls meant to scare, and now the false threat leading to a real shooting at the U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland. Tonight, ICE operation in Chicago, an officer injured, dragged by a car trying to flee a traffic stop. The officer shooting and killing the driver. Tonight, President Trump suggesting Russian drones over Poland's airspace might have been a mistake by Russia. Tonight, Poland saying it was no mistake and NATO scrambling to beef up security. Martha Raddatz standing by and what's now being done. Back in the U.S. tonight, scary moments for a JetBlue flight preparing for takeoff for Boston. The plane's wing smashing through the windows of the airport, right into a restaurant. And tonight, you have to see this. The toddler now seen by millions. So many teams joining in, even the Super Bowl champs, because of what this little boy does every day. Who is our person of the week?
That's news from the USA. In the UK, Britain launched a new package of Russia-related sanctions on Friday, targeting ships carrying Russian oil, as well as companies and individuals supplying electronics, chemicals, and explosives used to make Russian weapons. In Europe, NATO announced plans to beef up the defense of Europe's eastern flank on Friday, 2 days after Poland shut down drones that had violated its airspace. We hear more in this report.
Russia and Belarus have launched their most watched military exercise as 40,000 troops mobilized for the Zapad 2025 drills just miles from NATO's doorstep. Poland slams shut its Belarusian border. France is sending jets to Poland. United Kingdom is ramping up sanctions in a signal to Russia not to escalate Europe's eastern flank, but is preparing for hybrid warfare, which is a whole new reality.
13,000 troops from Russia and Belarus are participating in the 5-day war games. Western intelligence hints that the number of troops could be around 30,000. Poland isn't taking chances. It sealed all border crossings with Belarus, deploying 40,000 soldiers along the eastern frontier.
We closed traffic on the Polish-Belarusian border. This is due to the beginning, actually ongoing, Zapad maneuvers. These maneuvers are aimed squarely at Poland and the European Union. These maneuvers are practicing aggressive warfare scenarios against our country.
While the Kremlin described Zapad 2025 as routine drills not aimed at third countries, NATO is not taking any chances. France is rushing 3 Rafale fighter jets to help protect NATO's eastern flank.
In Africa, Burkina Faso's Council of Ministers decided on Wednesday to make travel visas for its territory free for all citizens of African countries. The law applies to all 54 countries on the continent, but excludes territories that are not sovereign states.
The young and brave leader of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has opened doors to any African who want to visit him or to visit Burkina Faso after adopted visa-free for any African who want to go to Burkina Faso. Brothers and sisters, from now on, any citizen from an African country wishing to go to Burkina Faso will not pay any amount to cover their visa fees, says the minister.
Still in Africa, men will now be able to assume their wife's surname should they choose to do so. This after the Constitutional Court confirmed in a judgment on Thursday, September 11.
So men will now be able to take their wives' surnames should they wish to do so. It's after the Constitutional Court today confirmed a judgment that was the Constitutional Court basically confirmed a judgment by a lower court that men, should they want to, will be allowed to take the surnames of their wives. This will then require a formal change to a portion of the Births and Deaths Registration Act, which was found to have been unconstitutional. The court says it unfairly discriminates on the basis of gender by failing to afford men the right to assume the woman's surname after marriage. It's after the applicants, two married couples, went to the Apex Court in March for a confirmation of invalidity against the said section. SABC News senior reporter Kenny Mapanga has more for you.
The Constitutional Court has undone the practice of women being expected to assume their husband's surname as the family name, describing it as largely a colonial import rooted in patriarchal norms.
Thank you. In the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates on Friday said it had summoned the deputy Israel ambassador over Israel's attack on Hamas leaders in Qatar and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu subsequent hostile and unacceptable remarks in another sign of strain between the two countries with close economic and defense ties. In Asia, China's military on Friday condemned the sailing of a U.S. and British warship through the sensitive Taiwan Strait, saying it ordered naval and air forces to monitor and warn the two ships. The People's Liberation Army's Eastern Theater Command said the U.S. destroyer USS Higgins and British frigate HMS Richmond were engaged in troublemaking and provocation. Britain's Defense Ministry said the sailing was a routine passage. Well, that's the end of Nice Radio's local, regional, and international news. Stay tuned for sports highlights, which is coming up next.
And now for the latest in sports, sponsored by the following.
This is Douglas over to Bridgman. Bridgman, of course! Oh, this is going to be a penalty! Yes, it is a penalty!
Yeah, dog. That's how the college kick off sports this year. With some serious football action. Six-a-side challenge, selection series, then the mouth-watering invitational football championship. Netball could be next, then T10 cricket to end off semester one.
When stars align, greatness outshines all hatred in space and time. So still we rise, with grace and with faith in the morning.
Boy, wait, I go can't make it. Cause Lamont Greg will solve off semester 2 and see defense his table tennis title before the hardcore ballers and smashers do their thing in basketball and volleyball.
Road relay heats and track and field finals will take us up to the finish line, while a football tour, a cricket trip, and sports awards decorate the action-packed calendar. This is the real thing. Sports 2025 to 2026 at the SPG Community College.
I don't want to hear, don't give me that you are to pay. You are to pay. Put some respect on me name. I don't want to hear, don't give me that you are to pay. You are to pay for them.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket, 100% concession. The Intention Supermarket, we've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always save by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincent John, a supermarket for you and me.
St. Vincent Containers proudly introduces its high-quality bathroom tissue. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Manufactured to conform to local, CARICOM, and international standards. Tested and certified by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bureau of Standards. No roll less than 300 sheets. Legitimate sheet and core sizes. Virgin pulp, no recycled. Soft but not lightweight. Professionally produced and packaged. Now available throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Furtis, Lilies, Mitushi. Excellent Vincentian products.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$250,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Friday, September 12th. It's $250,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
The public is asked to note that chiropractor Dr. Edmund Seeley is now conducting clinic and will see patients by appointments only. To make an appointment, call 456-9318 or 531-5318.
Sports report for Saturday, 13th September 2025 in the local sports. Kingston, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Windward Islands Football Association WIFA Women's Tournament 2025 kicks off on Sunday, 14th September and runs until September 20th, promising a thrilling week of competitive football while ushering in a new chapter in sub-regional football and empowering women in sports. The tournament, which features Barbados, Dominica, St. Lucia, and hosts St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was officially launched September 9th at La View Boutique Hotel. Annisvale Heat Seekers dominated the 3x3 basketball tournament. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Basketball Federation successfully hosted another exciting 3x3 basketball tournament on Saturday, September 6th at the Montrose Hart Court. A total of 6 teams participated in, namely the Doctors of Influence Nigeria, V2, Magistry Mavericks, Heat Seekers 1 and Heat Seekers 2. The teams were divided into 2 groups where they started the tournament off at a round-robin style. The 2 top teams from each group played a knockout games where Doctors of Influence narrowly defeated Mavericks 7-6 and Heat Seekers 1 defeated Majesty 21-8. The finals brought together 2 of the tournament's most competitive teams. Heat Seekers 1 remained composed under pressure and secured a solid 16-10 win over Doctors of Influence to claim the championship. The SVG Basketball Federation extends its heartfelt congratulations to Heat Seekers for the outstanding performance and continued excellence in the sports. Furthermore, the Federation is pleased with the growing interest of the 3x3 basketball in the country and urges players to practice this format in addition to the 5-versus-5. More opportunities for competitions and tournaments will be presented to the country as part of the Federation's commitment towards the sport. Upcoming events include the national tournament to be held from October 18th to November 16, 2025, which will host the senior 5-versus-5 and the under-17 3x3 games. Back to football in the Rudy's Electrical Highroon Bear North Leeward Tournament 2025. Petit Bodel versus Chateau. The venue was the Golden Grove at Fitzhughes. Petit Bodel 4 while Chateau Belair scored 1. The goal scorers for Petit Bodel is Calif Westfield, number 6 in the 10th minute, AJ Delplesh, number 10 in the 22nd, 24th, and 26th minute. For Chateau Belair, Calvert Bowens, the number 31, with a penalty in the 29th minute. Petit Bodel came out on top in Rudy's Electrical Highroon Bear North Leeward Soccer Tournament 2025 with a commanding performance over Chateau. Calif Westfield opened the scoring, but AJ Delpesh fired a brilliant hat-trick to put the game out of reach. Chateau only response came from a penalty spot where Calvert Bowens converted to get his team a score on the score sheet. In the end, Petit Bodel attacking firepower proved too much as they cruised to a 4-1 victory. We had no other scores from the other football leagues in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's all for the local sports. Dougie the Freitas presenting. In the rest of the sporting world, in West Indies cricket in the CPL, an exciting match. Barbados Royals won the second match. They won Trinbago Knight Riders by 7 wickets with 6 balls remaining. In the 6th Youth ODI, West Indies under 19 won Sri Lanka under 19 by 3 wickets with 8 balls remaining. West Indies under 19 287 for 7 off 48.4. Sri Lanka under 19 to 87 for 6 off 50. In other cricketing news, in the men's international T20 match, England won South Africa by 146 runs. England posted a record 304 for 2 off 20. South Africa 158 all out in 16.1 overs. In the DP World Asia Cup Group A, Pakistan beat Oman by 93 runs. Pakistan 160 for 7 off 20. Oman 67 all out in 16.4 overs. And England under 19 against the Bangladesh under 19s. There was no result, but England had posted 279 for 5 of 45 overs. In football, in the Championship League, Ipswich Town beat Sheffield United 5-0. In the Women's Super League, Manchester City beat Brighton and Hove Albion 2-1. West Ham United lost 5-1 to Arsenal. In the Scottish Championship, Partick Thistle beat Airdrieonians 2-1. In the FA Cup second round qualifier, Folkestone in Vitica beat Maidstone United 2-1. In the Irish Premier League, Glentoran and Linfield played to a 1-1 draw. In the Irish Premier Division, Bohemians lost 4-3 to Derry City. In the Irish FA Cup, some results: Drogheda United and Shamrock Rovers played to a 1-1 draw. Finn Harps lost 3-0 to Cork City. Kerry beat Sligo Rovers 4-3. In the Spanish La Liga, Sevilla and Elche played to a 2-2 draw. In the German Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen beat Eintracht Frankfurt 3-1. In the Belgian Jupiler Pro League, Standard League and Mechelen played to a 1-1 draw. Finally, in some tennis in the Davis Cup qualifier, Jean-Leonard Struff beat Yoshihiko Nishioka 6-4, 6-7, 6-4. In the men's singles finals, Yannick Hanfmann beat Shantaro Mochizuki 6-3, 6-3. In another men's finals, Thomas Etchari beat Jasper De Jong 6-4, 6-4. And Corentin Moutet beat Dino Prismic 6-4, 5-7, 6-1, while Francisco Corrandolo beat Botik van de Zanderskolp 7-6, 6-1. In the men's finals, Arthur Renderich beat Mering Silic 6-2, 6-4. And in the Phoenix Hall men's singles finals, Jorik Radinov beat Fabian Marozan 6-2, 6-7, 7-5. That's all for sports. Dougie Freitas presenting.
The weather is coming to you with the kind compliments of Hennessy and Century Insurance. Present condition is cloudy, winds north at 06 kilometers or 04 miles per hour. Temperature 26.0 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 92%. Barometric pressure 1012.3 millibars. 24-hour rainfall 14.9 milliliter. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.9 degrees Celsius and last night's minimum temperature was 23.0 degrees Celsius. Sunset this evening at 6:07 p.m. and sunrise at 5:53 a.m. The marine condition, there'll be one low tides at 6:33 p.m. Upcoming high tides at 10:20 a.m. and 11:48 p.m. Sea conditions, slight to moderate in open water, with swells 0.5 meters to 1.5 meters. Winds east-southeast to southeast at 05 to 15 kilometers, 03 to 09 miles per hour with gust near showers. Forecast partly cloudy to cloudy with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Synopsis, a tropical wave continues to affect the islands. We look at the regional and international conditions. Trinidad, 24 degrees and partly cloudy. Barbados, 25 degrees and partly cloudy. Antigua, 28 degrees and partly cloudy. San Juan, 27 degrees and partly cloudy. Miami, 25 degrees and overcast. New York, 16 degrees and partly cloudy. Toronto, 18 degrees and cloudy. And in London, 16 degrees and fair. And that's a look at the weather forecast, coming to you with the kind compliments of Hennessy and Century Insurance.
Randy Supermarket is perfect for all your grocery needs. We have a range of liquor, liqueur, and wines, fresh and quality bread, and our weekly specials will simply amaze you. Conveniently opened 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and Fridays and Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have competitive prices and friendly staff. Randy Supermarket, located at Lower Bay Street and Terrell Street. Call us at 456-2994. Randy Supermarket, where shopping is fun.
We would like to say that Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum is the best rum in the world. And now we can. Voted the world's best rum at the World Rum Awards 2014, Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum. World class in a glass.
Richardson Motors in Arnorsville is expanding its team and hiring for the following positions: office clerk, cashier, pump attendants, cleaners. Applicants must reside between Montrose and Ratham Mill, between Belair and Daphne, Fairburn Pasture and Belmont and their surrounding areas. Transportation provided for the night shift. If you are looking for a new opportunity, come visit us in person Monday to Friday between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. to apply. Can't make it in person? WhatsApp us at 496-9213 for more information. That's 496-9213 for more information. Don't miss out on this chance to join our team. Apply today.
Air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, disc pads and brake shoes, clutch disc, pressure plates, rotor plates, engine parts, fan belts, timing belts, oil seals, spark plugs, radiators, radiator hoses, water pumps, universal joints, suspension parts, KYB Japanese shocks for Toyota, Nissan and Suzuki, tie rods, rack ends, ball joints. You can also get accessories, cleaning supplies, polishes, titanium tint, black tint, Valvoline motor oils, Toyota and Honda motor oils, transmission fluids, Michelin wiper blades, headlights, corner lights, HID kits, HID bulbs and ballast, LED bulbs, and much more can be had at Automax Auto Parts. Automax goes the extra mile and spend the extra dollar to ensure that you get first quality Japanese auto parts. Come see the difference at our showroom opposite the basketball court in Camden Park. Call us at 458-2000 or 529-2070. Visit us on Facebook, Automax Auto Parts. Drive the extra mile to get the best first quality auto parts.
Please note that we open on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
A tradition of trust, a promise of quality. Transform your home with District Stairs SVG's Homeowners Trust Program. Renovate your kitchen, bathroom, flooring, or living space, hassle-free. No interest, no hidden fees, just trust. Here's how it works. Free consultation. Start with a free consultation to discuss your renovation goals and receive a customized plan. Pay a deposit up front. Secure your renovation with an initial deposit. Flexible installment plans. Pay the remaining balance in manageable installments tailored to you. Your vision brought to life. Experience a seamless transformation of your home with trusted craftsmanship. Let's bring your dream home to life together. Call us at 1-784-456-7649. Email districtstairs.svg@gmail.com or visit us in the Russell Shopping Center at Stony Grounds.
Noise Radio's Death Announcement comes to you every weekday at 9:20 a.m. and 3:20 p.m., Saturday 8:35 a.m., Sunday 2:45 p.m., and sponsored by Memorial Funeral Home. For more information, call 45-81013 or email bdsnice@gmail.com.
Memorial Funeral Home is the first in SVG to offer on-site cremation service. The new and modern crematorium provides a safe way to memorialize your loved ones. Memorial Funeral Home offers a variety of urns in which you can preserve your loved one in a personal way. Cremation can ease the financial burden as it reduces the cost of a standard funeral service by 50%. Caskets can also be rented. Cremation is a necessary option to the overcrowded burial grounds across the country. Their friendly and courteous staff will continue to take care of all your funeral needs, whether you choose to bury or cremate. If your loved ones die abroad, there's no need to worry. Memorial Funeral Home can assist in the transportation of bodies to SVG and from SVG to any part of the world. Memorial Funeral Home services can be accessed at their two locations. In Kingstown in the Russells Building at telephone number 453-2697 and in Mesopotamia at 458-8888. The Memorial Funeral Home, leading the way in modern and affordable services. Call us. We care.
The death is announced of Carlos Joel Hillocks, also known as Cali and Redman of Westbury Road, Barbados, who passed away on Saturday, August the 16th, 2025. He was 73 years old. He is survived by his mother, Lily Hillocks, father, Joseph Rodriguez, wife, Mrs. Uriah Hillocks, nee Lawrence, children, Kanai and Nadine Goodluck, Calbert Lawrence and Rena Hillocks, adopted son, Romel Hines, brothers, Ralph, Eric and Uric Rodriguez in St. Vincent, Robert Patchy Verrill in the USA, sisters, Cynthia Bowen nee Hillocks in England, Shanda John in Barbados, grandchildren, Darius Parker in the USA, D'Angelo Goodluck, Precious and Shayla Kai Lawrence. Many nieces, including Vero Hillocks, Trinity, Trina, Ashika Trimmingham, Deidre Boeing in England, and many more in the USA. Many nephews, including Richard Bowen in England, Israel Thomas, Ziggy, Richard Hillocks, Nathaniel, many more in the USA. Uncle, Winston Banwell. Mother-in-law, Vilna Batiste. Sisters-in-law, Sheila, Brenda, Noella, Louise, Camilla Francisco, Cheryl Hillocks, Lyndon in Canada, and Suzanne. Cousins, Joel, Sheldon, Walcott, Rosemary, Carlita, Kelvin, Magmola, and Anne-Marie Jack. Close relatives and friends, the Hillocks, Rodriguez, and Bullock families. Other relatives and friends, the Lawrence, Batiste, and Burke families. Brown, Edwin Robertson, Small John, Barrett Lockhart, Zola Ryan, Veronica Marks, the Porter family, Pauline, Diane John, Earl Pilgrim and family, Brenton Peters, the community of Bayaboo, many more in Barbados, the USA, and St. Vincent. The funeral service of the late Carlos Joel Hillocks, also known as Cali and Redman of Westbury Road, Barbados, will take place on Saturday, September the 13th, 2025 at Arngale Memorial Methodist, Barbados. Viewing of the body will be on Friday, September the 12th, 2025 from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Keith Joe's. Interment at the Westbury Cemetery, St. Michael, Barbados. The death is announced of Mr. Holly Young Morale Ashton, also known as Coolie Boy or Cornbread of Greg's, formerly of Rosebank, a retired worker of the Botanical Garden. He passed away peacefully on Sunday, August the 31st, 2025, at the age of 70. He leaves to mourn his beloved wife, Mrs. Ira Ashton of Greg's, children, Jeline Bartholomew and Shannon Ashton de Young in the USA, Jennifer Thomas in the UK, Roll Wilson in the BVI, Aubrey and Hilbert Wilson, David Williams and Linda Thomas in St. Vincent, cherished grandchildren, Brianna Wilson Johnson, Shia Wilson, Logan Bartholomew, Dominic de Young in the USA, Nariel Wilson in the BVI, Jessica and Max in the UK, Kaya and Carlson Duke, Kellon Wilson in Canada, Jaleisha Brown, Renuka, Talia, Nolly Jr., Jack, Linnea Small in St. Vincent. He is survived by sisters, Belita Roberts in Trinidad and Catherine Mack in St. Vincent. He is also remembered by grandson-in-law Kareem Johnson in the USA, sons-in-law Cuthbert Bartholomew and Dwayne de Young in the USA, brothers-in-law Adrian Roberts in Trinidad, Casper and Double Wilson, Wayne and Reed Bruce in St. Vincent, Dolphus Bruce in Tortola. Sisters-in-law Vistula and Edgarva Matthews, El Norris Wilson in St. Vincent, and Avril Franny in Trinidad. He will also be missed by 19 nieces and nephews, along with many relatives and friends, including Veronica Ashton in Canada, Deborah and CJ Brown, James Rollin, Josette Jarvis, Theodore Batiste, Palin Miller, Eula, Mavis and Jose Johnny, Catherine Rodney, Tavi Frederick, the Rogers, Pitts, James, Batiste, and Ashton families in Greggs and Simon, the Greggs Seventh-day Adventist Church family, the nurses at the Doreen John Health Center, the Hoop and Ashton families in Pittibudel and Rosebank, and the Legree family of Higher Lowmans, too numerous to mention. The funeral service of the late Mr. Holly Young Morali Ashton, also known as Cornbread and Coolie Boy of Greggs Village, formerly of Rosebank, will take place on Sunday, September the 28th, 2025, at the Greggs Seventh-day Adventist Church. Viewing begins at 12 noon, followed by the service at 1 p.m. Interment at the Bascom Cemetery. The death is announced of Colin Gary Bob, also known as Tuta of Magum and Richland Park, who passed away on Thursday, July the 31st, 2025. He was 59 years old. He is survived by his children, Kimishan Kemal Clark, Shadika Clark, PC 948 of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Kalina and Calvin Ryan, brothers Carl and Tony Williams, Leslie Edwards, Dougie Green, and Jeff Bob in St. Vincent, Alfian Braid in Barbados, Bert Williams in the USA, Curtis Scott and Anthony Gittins in Canada, sisters Darren Davis, Hazelyn Lynch, Lawrence Simon, Gloria Thomas, Merle Johnson in St. Vincent, Gemma Glasgow and Princess Simon in Trinidad, and Silma and Anne-Marie Gittins in Canada, Josette Williams and Travis Brown in the USA. Nieces Sandra and Amelia Williams, Michelle James, Silma and Renika Bob, Christine Bob in St. Vincent, Sarah Braid in Barbados, Donna and Jennifer Johnson in Trinidad, Bina Farrell, Bernadette and Suzette Williams in the USA. Nephews Aunt Neil and Adrian Williams, Edwin Davis, Dave, Cosmo, Devon and Kimo in St. Vincent, Arthur Lloyd and Selwyn Johnson in Trinidad. Aunts Marla McLeod in St. Vincent, Lena Monfiston and Joy Oliver in the USA. Uncle Kenneth Oliver in St. Vincent. In-laws Clifford Williams and Cornelius Lynch in St. Vincent, Lennox Glasgow in Trinidad and Judy Braid in Barbados. Cousins Don and Austin Bob, Althea Williams in Richland Park, Mike and Danny Frederick, and Nanton Bob in Penniston, Leroy Bob in Byra, Margaret Davis and Inlet Frederick in Canada. Close relatives and friends, Dwight Edwards, Luann Johnson, Nicholas Edwards, Calvert Nanton and family, Kishan Bowens and family, David Byron, Winfield Seymour, Janet Johnson, Audley Hayward, Gustin Jordan, Pastor Robbie, Eunice Joyett, and Randolph Cox. Other relatives and friends, Maurice Latham, Lariston and Ashley Primus, Calvin Aberdeen, Keith Williams, Raphael O'Garan family, Tyrone Lewis, Brian McNichols, Buddy Lewis, Sunil Richards, Judy Thomas and friends, Per Davy, Isola Peters and family, Gracie Maloney, Paul Scott and Elisa Primus, the Bob Williams and Hector families in Richland Park, the Bob Williams and Hector Baker and Paris families in Penniston, the Primus family in Richland Park and Diamond, the Clark family in Argyle, the communities of Overland and Magum, the past and members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Sandy Bay, the staff at the Overland Health Center and the Georgetown Smart Hospital. The funeral service of the late Colin Gary Bob, also known as Tuta, of Magam and Richland Park, will take place on Sunday, September the 21st, 2025, at the Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist Church. The body will lie at the church from 1 p.m. Service begins at 2 p.m. Interment at the Richland Park Cemetery. The death is announced of Catherine Adelaide Cordes of Richland Park, who passed away on Saturday, August the 30th, 2025. She was 106 years old. Funeral arrangements of the late Catherine Cordes will be heard in a subsequent announcement.
The death is announced of Mr. Elmo Augustus Poyer of Green Hill, Barley, who died on the 26th of August 2025 at the age of 74. He survived by his wife, Dufflin Poyer. Children, sons Ephron, Devron, and Elron Poyer. Daughter, Mrs. Daronessa Poyer Shallow. Brothers, Percival, Colin and Marcus Mason, Ezekiel and Raymond Trimenham, Edgar Lewis and Kenneth Williams. Sisters, Mrs. Carlene Lewis, Mrs. Ines Fredericks, Mrs. Barbara Crease, Mrs. Cynthia Morford, Bernice and Melania Mason, Yvonne, Juliet, and Patricia Trimenham. Grandchildren, Daricia, Josiane, Kalino, Savannah, Jace, Francesca, Kalila, Kadri, Eloise, and Khalid Poyer, Kareem and Nelly Shallow, Zaire Macmillan and Saraya Doniden. 40 nieces, 18 nephews, 23 great nieces, and 23 great nephews. Son-in-law Akeem Shallow and daughter-in-law Hilary Poyer. Brothers-in-law Cecil Morford, Augustine Lewis, Paul Crease, Levi Rodney, Ibrahim Sakura, Byron, Nikki, Paul and Kentush Fredericks, Tyrone Ogaro, Aaron Games, Aaron Heckburn, and Nolan Balls. Sisters-in-law Anita Thomas, Denise and Pat Mason, Paula, Roslyn, and Monica Frederick, Mrs. Antoinette Sakura, and Mrs. Mahalia Rodney, Mrs. Petula Games. Mother-in-law, Miss Emily Frederick. Close relatives, the Trimenham, Fredericks, Mason, Lewis, Crease, and Grant families, the Thomas family of Richland Park, Sonia Samuel, Raquel Frederick, Selitza Crease Frederick and family, Rudy and Ryan Frederick families in Barbados. Close friends, Tom and Suzanne Hasleman, Larry and Carrie Lade of the USA, Orna Bob, Pastor Maxwell Providence and family, Etsu Williams and family, Marilyn and Meth Jr. Morgan, Lance John, Daniel Alexander and family, Mr. and Mrs. Emilio Cobbler, Miss Alison Guy, Miss Millicent Trimenham Poyer of Morris Village, Dennis James and family of Park Hill. Other relatives and friends. Other relatives include Mr. and Mrs. Randy Thorne of Green Hill, Pastor Paul Corby and family, the Ashton, Pierre, Herbert, Delplish, Peters, Morgan, Kirby, Anderson, Lewis, Brown, and Fraser families of Barley and Kingstown, the Shallow family of Coast Hill. Other friends, the Barley Evangelical Church, the Jackson and Dalton family of Barley, the Huggins family of Richmond Hill, Murray's Village, the Horn family of Diamond Village, the Fredericks family of Fancy, the Baptiste family of Owea. The funeral service of the late Mr. Elmo Augustine, that's Mr. Elmo Augustus Poyer of Green Hill and Barley, will take place on Sunday, the 21st of September 2025 at the Barley Evangelical Church. A viewing of the body at 1 p.m. and time of service 2 p.m. and at the Glebe Hill Cemetery for burial.
Nice Radio extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved.
Memorial Funeral Home is dedicated to meeting the needs of our customers. We go above and beyond to ensure satisfaction and convenience. That is why we are extending our services to the diaspora. Working with Caribbean Funeral Home in New York. Burial packages can now be completed in New York to cover burials in St. Vincent. And likewise, packages can be made in St. Vincent to cover burials in New York. Caribbean Funeral Home is located on 1922 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn. Call their office at 718-444-1818 or
WhatsApp at 347-925-9557 or 347-231-5410. For more information, call our local office at 458-8888. Memorial Funeral Home. Quality, convenience, and affordability.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep this flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrate and come let your rhythm flow.
Nice Radio's birthday celebration package is brought to you with the compliments of the following.
Hannah, guess who nearly burned down the kitchen trying to make gourmet ramen?
You again?
I had no garlic, no butter, no vibes, so I ran to Massey quick.
Just for ramen?
I came out with dinner, dessert, and even items to clean up. Plus, points on my loyalty card. I even transferred money and still had time to grab a little wine.
So, basically, you lived in now.
Honestly, with the parking, service, and the WhatsApp updates, I might move in next week. Who else doing it like that? Massey Stores, our family serving your family and your last minute cravings.
Welcome to Subway, where you can always have it your way. My name is Stacy. What can I make for you?
Hey, Stacy. I'll have a chicken teriyaki salad. All veggies, please. And for my daughter, Naomi, a pizza. Naomi, what would you like to have on your pizza?
Pepperoni bacon.
They've got tomatoes as well.
Pepperoni bacon.
What about some fresh onions, corn, pineapple?
Pepperoni bacon.
Naomi, you can also have olives, jalapeno, extra meat.
Nope. Pepperoni bacon.
Stacy, can I have one chicken teriyaki salad, all veggies, please, and a pizza with pepperoni and bacon?
You can have it your way.
Come into our uptown or downtown location today or order on your favorite delivery app. Subway, have it your way.
The birthday winner of the week will receive a $20 gift voucher from Massey Stores and a $20 meal voucher from Subway.
It's time for the celebration package. If anybody celebrating a birthday today, a relative, a friend, or that special someone in your life, the time is now to call us. It's the 13th day in the month of September 2025. And with that, I am going to go to my birthday bag. A blessed good morning, sending special anniversary greetings
Regardless of your condition, you should have fun.
to Mr. and Mrs. Walter and Denise Surgeon of Montyoung. They're celebrating their 12th wedding anniversary today. Greetings is going out to them from friends Advira, Christina, and Olani. All come together to wish them all the very best and that they will live to celebrate many more years together by God's willing. We love them very much.
You should be glad to see another year.
Definitely should be glad to see another year. Let's see if we have a caller. Good morning.
Happy birthday to a cousin of mine living in the US of A. I accidentally put up on his birth date, and I know, he used to be a close first cousin of mine at one time. So I just want to say happy birthday to Junior Nero, ex-police and all of that. There are two Junior Neros, and both of them and I are related. There's that one who's still there from Santa Bay. But this one and I grew up together. Our mothers being twins and all of that stuff. So happy birthday to you, Junior. I know you usually come around Christmas. Somebody will pass on the message and to remind you that we are just 1 year apart. So enjoy your day. Thank you. Thank you, Spicy.
All right. Thank you to all the best to Junior on his big day today. Have a wonderful one. Gonna go back to my birthday bag and shout happy birthday to their sister Elizabeth Mackenzie of South Rivers, living in Dixon. She is celebrating her birthday today. You've got greetings going out from your loving sister Elvira, nieces Christina and Olani, coming together to wish you all the very best, and that God will continue to bless and keep you, and that you live to see many, many more birthdays to come, and the whole month is yours. We love you very much. Celebration package, good morning. Let's try again. Celebration package, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Mespo.
Mesopotamia in the house. Who is
Yes,
celebrating for you this morning?
Myself, Dawson Stapleton from Mespo, celebrating his birthday today. The whole family, coming from the whole family circle, there is many and many more birthday to come.
All right. All the best to you, Dawson, on your big day today. Where
Okay
in
then.
Mespo you from?
Montague.
Montague. All right. So I wish you all the best on your big day today, and I hope that you would live to see many, many more birthdays to come. Celebrate with us while we celebrate with you. Once again, all the best to you, Durson, on your special day today. I'm going to go back to my phone lines. Let's see who we have here. We have our special greetings going out to Tara Steele of Toronto. And Tara is celebrating today. Tara, you got greetings coming from Sylvia and their entire family and friends coming together, wishing you all the best and hoping that you enjoy your big day today. Happy birthday to Malik Peniston of Beckway. And Malik, you got greetings coming from your aunt, your uncles, grandma, the entire family circle coming together, wishing you all the best on your big day. That's Malik Peniston of Beckway. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, celebration package.
Spice of life, good morning.
Good morning to the Sunbat man.
How are you this morning?
Nice, great, and wonderful. Your belly hurts so much that you can't even get up this morning.
Well, that's all part of it. It's the weekend, isn't it?
It
So
is.
Archer would be happy you up there, and Shawnee and them guys up there would be happy because I mean the weekend. So we bending we head up there, right? But I know you have principle and you have standards, so I'm not worried anymore about that. Want to say happy birthday to Alison Horn. She's up there in Queens Drive. Well, actually, it's a kind of a double whammy because Alison is celebrating her birthday and it's their anniversary as well. Alison and Aidan Horn, they are in Queen Drive. They're celebrating today. Want to wish them happy birthday and anniversary. I know Mom, Barbara, Zinga, Natalie, Lana, everybody, Kaylee, and everybody, the big son, want to wish Mom and Dad happy birthday and hope they enjoy all of it. As well as a young lady down there in Chateau, Eloisa Ellis. Mrs. Ellis, happy birthday. Well, I know the big daughter, Janetta, Ronetta, and everybody want to wish Mom happy birthday and hope that she have a fantastic one. Gemma and everybody hope that she will have a wonderful birthday and that she will enjoy to the fullest. As well as extend birthday greetings to Caleb Hamlet. He's in Bali. He will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow. I know his mom and dad, Carl and Rosemary, and the big sister, Kayla, Myri, and everybody, Shamsi, everybody want to wish Caleb advance happy birthday and hope that he will have a fantastic one when the day comes around tomorrow as well. As well as Samuel Richards, he's in Barbados. He will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Well, I know the big sister, Mitzi, Mom, Cynthia, Fox, everybody want to wish Samuel advance happy birthday and hope that he enjoy when the day comes around as well. That's it.
All right, so you have the body bag going this morning, going and going like the Energizer body.
Yes,
That
it is.
means that you have
Lots of
quite a
cakes,
number
eh?
of cakes to
Lots of cakes,
pass around
yeah.
to all these persons who are celebrating birthdays.
Let me say good morning to Mrs. Biz then. How you doing this morning? The Posse Man, Millie, how you guys doing? Vanda out there in Georgetown, how you doing? As well as Kathleen, want to say good morning to those guys as well. Have a wonderful weekend.
You're still not saying how you're going to get your something that was sent to you for your birthday.
We'll talk about that one.
All right.
Yes, we'll organize that
Okay,
one.
well, have a blessed day. Thanks for calling.
Have a great one.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Gonna go back to my birthday bag, and this is Dougie's birthday bag. Shout happy birthday. Let's see Dougie's birthday bag this morning. All right. So Dougie's birthday bag start from Trisha. Trisha Reddock in Brooklyn is celebrating today. Happy birthday, Trisha. Happy birthday also to Pamela Prescott in Brooklyn. That's Pamela Prescott in Brooklyn. She's celebrating today. Happy birthday to you, Pamela. Jennifer Miller in Layu. Violet Westfield in Pettibodell. Violet is celebrating today. Happy birthday to Ronnie Brown. Andrew McIntosh in Toronto. Denise Thomas in Richland Park. Teton Sardine. Damage Hendrickson, happy birthday. Sylvan S. Lewis Harry, working at the Ministry of Education. Sylvan Lewis, sorry, she's celebrating today. Happy birthday to Winfield Balls in Barley. Happy birthday.
Juanita, I'm afraid to dance with you. Afraid the way you hold me, afraid how you squeeze me, you put a hug on me. I'm afraid, I am afraid, I'm afraid to dance with you. All them Calypsonians, they're standing just looking on. Tommy and Pompey said they were warning me, but she holding on to me, showing off her body. Man, I feel so ashamed when she starts to call my name. And she hold me so, wouldn't let me go. I tried to run, she pulled me down. Juanita, I'm afraid to dance with you. Juanita, I'm afraid to dance with you. Afraid how you hold me, afraid the way you squeeze me, you put a hurt on me. I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I am afraid, I'm afraid to dance with you. Juanita, oh Juanita, Juanita, oh Juanita, Juanita, Juanita. Now she start to whine, almost blew my mind. Now she on the ground, see how she's spinning around. You holding on to me.
Today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tomorrow, the Caribbean. Nice Radio. 90.3, 101.3, 96.7 FM.
Yeah. Everybody move. Let your body move. Show me the vibe, give me the vibe. Keep on grooving. Keep on grooving.
Nice Radio presents Healthy Vibes, a live health education program aired on this station on Saturday mornings. Healthy Vibes looks at the total person, physical, emotional, social, and spiritual, with emphasis not only on diseases and conditions, but also on the importance of individual, family, professional, and political responsibilities to health and well-being. Healthy Vibes addresses issues not often talked about. It is solution focused. So join us this Saturday and every Saturday for Healthy Vibes on Nice Vibes on Nice Radio. I am Vin Abbott.
All right, it's now time for the program Healthy Vibes with Vin Abbott. Comes to you every Saturday morning from 9:15. Vin Abbott is on the line with us. Let me say good morning, Vin. I am nice, great, and wonderful. I've got the full package.
That's wonderful indeed. That's wonderful.
All right. Vin, could just hang up and call back for me, please. Call back immediately. All right. Hello, Vin. You still there? All right, do that. All right, let's try again. Good morning. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
All
How
right.
about you?
Just now
Go ahead.
I wasn't hearing you in my speaker. Okay.
Mm.
So good to have you back. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. And we keep the momentum this morning with some healthy vibes, literally. Joining me now is none other than Vin Abbott, the voice behind the program Healthy Vibes that gets us thinking about wellness in ways that are practical, positive, and always rooted in good vibes. But before we crack into today's conversation, let's look at the weather quickly. A tropical wave continues to affect our islands, bringing partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers and possible a thunderstorm or two. And winds are calm and seas are slight to moderate to keep your umbrella close and move with care if you're venturing out. So, Vin, what's happening on your side?
Well, it's a beautiful day here in Toronto. We are basically into fall. It's like 17 degrees, and we're having some slightly above seasonal weather. It's like 17 degrees. It should be like 25 today, sunny all weekend. So it's a beautiful way to say goodbye to summer 2025 as we usher in fall 2025. And as for me, I'm doing well, just a little bit tired. I'm still trying to get over all the hectic activities on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. From the last couple of weeks I was there, but I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm doing well. And I hope all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines folks are doing well as well. I just heard the weather forecast there, and a timely reminder that we are still in the hurricane season. Yes, and we need to keep our guards up. Don't let our guards down. I'm sure by now most people would have been prepared, already prepared for the hurricane season. So far, we have been having an uneventful, so to speak, hurricane season, and I sincerely hope it stays that way. Spicy.
I feel like the weather is changing because I remember when I was going to secondary school at the beginning of September, we always under some kind of storm watch or hurricane watch. We have to go back home because of that. But for this whole month, there was nothing like that. The weather was just fine.
Yes, I had that discussion off air with Dr. Andrew Simmons recently as regards the fact that we're having a very mild hurricane season, uneventful basically so far. Let's hope it stays that way. And he preferred some ideas, reasons why that might be so, and I'll probably have him on a program sometime to talk about that. basically not to take our eyes off this the dust, the Saharan dust that was really, affecting the region tremendously, and he felt that had something to do with the weather patterns, apart from the general climate change and all of that. So that is something that I would definitely explore a little bit more with Dr. Andrew Simmons and see what happens. But the authorities are saying the latter part of the hurricane season will be hectic. So again, I think it's important for us not to be too lax, as the people say, and still be reminded that we are still in the hurricane season, and for us to pay attention to the weather forecast and other things like that coming out from the authorities when it comes to hurricanes and the weather patterns and systems and all of that, Spicy. I think that's very, very important.
I agree with you. The old people usually say, don't talk too quick. But let's stay positive. Let's stay positive.
I hope we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. Yes, put any bad mouth on anything, as the people say as well. Right?
I hope not.
Yeah, God is good. God is good. Well, Spicy, let me say a special good morning to all listeners wherever they are, whether on homeland, at St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Caribbean, further afield in the diaspora, whether you're up north or down south, wherever you are. Special good day to you. Hope all is well with you and yours. Thank you for allowing us into your space, into your domain this morning to talk a little bit about healthy vibes. And Spicy, today, I want to sort of join forces, so to speak, with persons who have been lamenting the murders that we have been having on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I saw this morning there was another shooting that resulted in a death, I think, on Layou, there on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But I want to go back. I want to go back to what happened, I think, on the 8th of September, and look at the press release that came out from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force from September the 9th. And I've heard a few persons, commenting on this particular death. I'll read it for our listeners once again, lest we forget. I'll read. Press release, police investigating death of adult female discovered in Long Wall, September the 9th, 2025. Kingstown. Police are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Sharon Elizabeth Ashton, a 43-year-old domestic of Long Wall, whose body was discovered approximately 11 a.m. on today's date at the back of our residence. Police were alerted to the discovery of the adult female, who was lying motionless with what appeared to be multiple stab wounds. The district medical officer attended the scene and pronounced Ashton deceased. The magistrate then gave permission for the body to be removed. Crime scene personnel processed the scene. A post-mortem examination will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. The investigation is ongoing, and police are urging anyone with relevant information to contact Police Control 784-457-1211, Criminal Investigations Department, Major Crimes Unit 784-456-1810. And the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force extend our deepest condolences to the friends and family of the deceased during this difficult time. That was a press release that came out on September the 9th as regards the death of Elizabeth Ashton of Long Wall there on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Friends, we extend condolence on this program to the family of Elizabeth. We extend condolence to all those who have lost loved ones recently, particularly those who have lost loved ones because of murder, homicide, some violent activity, some whatever the cause was. We extend condolence this morning. And, sometimes I shy away from talking so much about these issues, important as they are. But I think the Spirit is working with me, and I will bow to the Spirit. Let me remind all of us, let us remind ourselves that we have been experiencing stress and predicaments and life crises from the beginning of time as human beings. And we have always found a variety of ways to resolve predicaments and live through crises. Likewise, other people have always helped in the process. And we can wax biblical this morning, spicy listeners, and we can go back to the Bible. I'm sure most of us remember the story of Noah. The biblical Noah was an example of how our ancestors handled crises. Noah was warned of as an example, that is, of how our ancestors handled crises. Yes, Noah was warned of the serious predicament he and his family would be facing shortly. They prepared for the event and through various clever maneuvers avoided being overwhelmed by the flood. I'm sure we're all very familiar with the Noah story. I'm throwing that out there to say, for years now, we have been warned, we have been given messages, we've been dealing with predicaments, we've been dealing with crisis after crisis, individual, family, community, national, around murders. I've always said, and I will repeat this morning, I strongly believe that we should be looking at crime and violence as a public health problem and not as a problem for the police only. The police can do so much and no more. They rely on us. They are members of the society. The problems of violence and crime did not start when somebody, committed a crime. It started before there, long before there, in the family, in the schools. You only have to look at social media, some reels and all that on social media these days, and you see what is going on in our schools amongst our young people. So we don't have to go far. In relation to all of this, insights developed through the psychological and social sciences help us to understand ourselves and others in crisis. But with the advent, with the coming of a more enlightened view of people in crisis, that has helped to put to rest some old myths about upset people. So this person's upset, so it's okay for him to do that or she to do that. He or she broke up in a relation, got messed up in a relationship, so to speak, so it's okay. It's not so easy anymore to write off as crazy and put away a person who is not his or her usual self in the face of a very upsetting event. It's not that easy. Modern crisis theory has helped us establish a new approach to people with problems. As a result of crisis theory and its unique emphasis on the helping mode, the upset people and crazy people who are upset cannot help themselves. Only psychiatrists or highly trained therapists can help people in crisis, and people who are suicidal or upset will get over it if they are left alone. All those things are myths. They no longer in terms of the work that has been done when it comes to crisis. Those things are no longer at the front and center of the work that we do in this field. Truth is, some of the people who can be most helpful in terms of crisis, are parents, spouses, teachers, counselors, social workers. And these are people who we generally recognize that we all have potential to grow. We all have potential to sort of change. Those who are upset and in trouble are seen in the modern way of thinking in social sciences, basically normal, basically capable of helping themselves, we're capable of helping ourselves, and basically capable of further growth with little help from friends, family, and neighbors. Friends, in the field of criminology, in the work in crime and violence, there's a theory, there's a model that I believe in strongly. Or in terms of problems, it's called the problem analysis triangle, sometimes referred to as the crime triangle. Triangle of a figure with three sides, equal sides. And this model provides a way of thinking about recurrent problems of crime and disorder. Mark that word, recurring. The problem of crime, the crime, especially against women, has been happening over and over and over again. We seem to have become numbed to it. 2-day talk, 3-day talk, 9-day talk, as we say, and then we go back to business as usual. That is very unfortunate. It's not helpful. Clearly, it's demonstrating that we are not using the opportunity, the crisis situation, for growth and development. Again, I'm repeating, the police can only do so much. And let me say a special good morning to all the police officers who are out there trying their best under very trying circumstances. But they need our support. So when we talk about the crime triangle, what we're talking about here, just imagine a triangle, three sides, and all the sides are sort of fixed. So you have inside, you have outside. And what this triangle, this model is saying, right? This is a model from routine activity theory that explains how crime occurs and when a motivated offender is suitable target and the lack of capable guardianship coverage in time and space. Basically, on one side, you have the offender or the motivated offender or the person who is likely to commit a crime. Then you have a target, a possible target. So it might be, a spouse, a female, right? And then you have the opportunity, the right time to commit the crime, if there's such a thing. Anytime any of those factors, right? Any of those three elements, any one of them is missing, a crime will never happen. So if you remove the motivated person, crime will not happen. If you remove the motivation to commit, it will not happen. If you protect the target, find some way to help the target, in case of woman, get out of a situation, a domestic situation that lends itself to violence and crime, it will not happen. And if the person doesn't get the opportunity, there's a restraining order on that person, or the person is put away or something like that, it will not happen. It will not happen. So any one of the three elements, if any one of them is missing, a crime will not happen. Now, it's easier said than done. What can we do as a people to help control that situation? So the model speaks about three controllers. We have the handlers, we have the guardians, and we have the managers. The handlers are individuals who can influence potential offenders, such as parents, teachers, or spouses, right, to discourage criminal behavior. Well, that list is very short, isn't it? Not only about parents and teachers and counselors. We have many persons out there who can help to mitigate criminal activity. Not only the police, not only teachers. Of course, it begins with the parents. Children live what they see. They see violence in the home, they're going to be violent. Simple as that. In the classroom, if children have been abused verbally and otherwise, they're going to turn out to be like that if the teacher's not managing properly in the classroom. If you don't have easy access to counseling services or support services, then we have a problem. Persons are going to get advice from somewhere else. But we have coaches working with students, young people, in clubs or teams. I don't know if we have clubs per se anymore, and that's under discussion. But we have coaches who should be able to pick up on some behavior that is away from baseline, say for one of the players. The coach is the person who should be able to see that person's turning up late for practice, a person's turning up probably stoned, high because of drugs, alcohol, whatever. Or the person's very aggressive on the field of play to other players and things like that. That's where a coach, for example, can intervene and check out what's going on. We have doctors, we have nurses. Somebody turns up, that social history. Apart from checking how the person's doing, like physically, okay, you present with a headache today, blah, blah, blah. A simple question or a couple questions like, hey, how are things with you and your family? What's going on? Let's have a conversation. You might be surprised, might be really surprised how much people will open up and talk with you. A simple question like, how are you doing today? Let's talk. How is family? How are the children doing? How is your husband or your boyfriend doing? How is work? Simple questions of the beaten path can help identify problems early o'clock. Community leaders, persons in addiction services, church leaders. And we can go on and on and on. But there are many handlers amongst us all, or any one of us can be a handler to help mitigate or to identify a problem early o'clock. Help us identify behaviors that might be leading on a pathway, a journey to crime or criminal activity. And the importance of intervening is very, very, very critical. What about guardians? When we talk about guardians, we're talking about people or things that protect suitable targets. Like, and we have security guards, we have neighbors, we have neighborhood watches. We can organize security devices like cameras and all these things. But again, that's where the police come in, not only to apprehend people, but work with community organizations, work with individuals, get into real community policing to get to know what's happening behind the scenes, what's happening, what you're not seeing on the surface, what might be happening underneath, and things like that. And we have the managers responsible for overseeing locations, controlling the environment to reduce opportunities for crime and things like that. Again, this is where all these things crisscross, overlap. The police are there. We have the authorities. We have the legal system. We have the government, and so on, who are responsible for ensuring safe environments for persons to live, to function. Friends, this is not new stuff. Again, I strongly believe that the time has long gone. It should have been yesterday, since we should have been seeing crime and violence as a public health problem, the same way we see HIV and AIDS. And I often refer to that. If tomorrow report comes out that so far this year, 30 Vincentians have been identified or have died from AIDS, bet you'll see a different response. We have the capacity, we have the resources, we have the personnel, some still working, still employed, some retired. And I can identify several of them for you who can make a contribution to help turn things around. To use a reference from Pastor Calvert Williams there in Georgetown at the Gospel Assembly, it's time for us to try and make a U-turn. We're going along the wrong path. It's time for us to make a U-turn, my friends. Time for us. Again, let's do the things that we're doing well, let's build on them. But clearly, when it comes to crime and violence, there are many gaps that we need to fill. There are many guardrails that need to be in place. We need to do that. This is not about party politics, ULP, NDP, and this and that. This is about us, Vincentians. It is a fact that we need to do more. And we need to go back to the basic stuff when it comes to dealing with crime and violence, in my view. And before I go spicy, pardon me, on my radio program, the Vin Abbott Show on Kankadi Radio on Saturday evenings, I normally read, and I read with a lot of intention. I do mean it. What I call a family pledge of nonviolence. And I'm going to share to our listeners this morning. Take from it what you want. I read. Making peace must start within ourselves and in our families. All of us, members of the Vincentian family, yes, we commit ourselves as best we can to become nonviolent and peaceable people. How we do this? To respect self and others, to respect myself, to affirm others, to avoid uncaring criticism, hateful words, physical attacks, and self destructive behavior, to communicate better, to share my feelings honestly, to look for safe ways to express anger, and to work at solving problems peacefully, to listen carefully to others, especially to those who disagree with me, and to consider others' feelings and needs rather than insist on having my own way, and to forgive, to apologize, and make amends when I've hurt another, to forgive others, and to keep from holding grudges. Friends, our family pledge of nonviolence. Thought I'll share that with you today to end today's program. Let us have a nonviolent weekend on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's go back to the drawing board, working along with the police and others to really, really deal seriously and effectively the problem of crime and violence on homeland, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you, Spicy.
Then you really hit home today with a reminder that health isn't just about what we eat or how we exercise. It's about the well being of our whole community. It's about how crime and violence, especially against women, have become reoccurring crises that we can't ignore anymore. You use the story of Noah's warning about the flood to remind us that problems often build up over time if we don't pay attention. Tackling crime has to be part of our healthy vibes conversation because safety and peace are just as important to our well-being as physical health. Thanks for that breakdown of the triangle, that's the crime triangle, how crime happen when you have a motivated offender, a vulnerable target and the opportunity. And if we remove even one of those factors, we can prevent crime. That means parents, teachers, community leaders, all of us have a role to play in keeping each other safe. Thank you, Vin, for those insightful and heartfelt reflections. For all our listeners, let's keep this dialogue going. Healthy vibes starts not just with what we eat, but how we can care for each other, protect each other, and build stronger communities. Vin, stay safe, stay connected, and remember, real health is more than a lifestyle, it's a shared responsibility. So this is
Spicy, I'm listening, sorry.
yes. So signing off with a hope and determination.
Spicy, same on to you. Thanks again for that wonderful, synopsis, that summary. And again, to our listeners, please, it begins with you, it begins with me. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend, Spicy, and all our listeners.
A call is coming in. You want to see if it has something to do with you?
Yes,
All
I'll
right,
hold a while.
let's take this call and see. Good morning.
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to what Vinabhat had to say. And at the same time, I want to commend him. I want to congratulate him. I'm no stranger to him. And I want him to know that I was very disappointed that I didn't see him while he was here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or as he would say, on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because we go back a long time. We had a close relationship. It's just that, yes, we all have our own business to take care of. But I always regard and respect Vinabhat for the effort he has made over the years to keep up with these health issues, health matters, and so on. And next time you come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, please be notified that I expect to see you. And I'm sorry I didn't really invite you this time. Have a good day. Thank you.
All right. Vin, are you still there? All right. Thank you very much, Vin, and thank you, Dave. Let's good morning.
Yes, Spicy, I lost you, so I don't know what that was about. I lost you a while ago there.
That was Dave on the line trying to respond to what you're saying, that he said that he knows you long time and that you guys go way back, and he's sorry that he didn't get a chance to see you when you were here.
Okay, Dave. Let's talk about that, Dave. Yes, we go back years. Dave is my good buddy and my Garifuna brother as well. And yes, Dave, we go back years. And the 2-week period on St. Vincent was very hectic. I only had one day to really rest up a little bit. I'm suffering because of that right now. But Dave, you're always in my heart. I always look forward to your comments, not only after this program, but after all programs when I'm able to check in. And keep up the great work. We need to have people like you who will continue to say what you have to say. And you do so with respect. And I love that. And you speak your heart. And that for me is very, very important. And, I often say one thing, well, we all have our views up or down on issues, north, south, east, west. And of course, the views, right? And there are billions of people in the world. So we can't expect to own every solution, every idea. The other people have ideas as well. And but again, if I have a view, I'll express it. It's not about wrong or right. Or if you think I'm wrong, prove me wrong or something like that. But I don't normally go that way. As a people, we all have experiences. You know what I'm saying, Dave? We have experience in life, and we have seen days. We have lived so long to have seen a better day, a different day than what we're experiencing now. And I'm sure there are many amongst us who can jump in there and try to help make a difference. Why they're not doing that, what are the barriers? I cannot say. Perhaps you're better positioned to say why many people might not want to jump in and really give of their services to volunteer or to air their views and so on. I leave that there. But I'm sure there are so many persons out there who'll be willing to help, whether on homeland or overseas. But the opportunity has to be there. The opportunities have to be there. The environment has to be there where people should be able to feel free to express themselves respectfully and differ with others, with each other, without others holding grudges and one has to be penalized or the families have to be penalized and things like that. I think that is important, a message I think we need to continue sending, Dave. But thank you for being Dave. Thank you for being there. Thank you, Spicy.
Thank you once again. Have a pleasant day.
Everybody move, let your body move. Shimmy die bye, give me die bye. Keep on grooving, keep on grooving.
Nice Radio presents Healthy Vibes, a live health education program aired on this station on Saturday mornings. Healthy Vibes looks at the total person, physical, emotional, social, and spiritual, with emphasis not only on diseases and conditions, but also on the importance of individual, family, professional, and political responsibilities to health and well-being. Healthy Vibes addresses issues not often talked about. It is solution-focused. So join us this Saturday and every Saturday for Healthy Vibes on Nice Vibes on Nice Radio. I am Vin Abbott.
No matter where you are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, your radio is Nice Radio. 101.3, 96.7, 90.3 FM.
You have been listening to this morning's program, A View from the Outside, and with Burton Harn and Healthy Vibes with Vin Abbott every Saturday, 7:30 and 9:15. Here's where I'm going to take my leave. I must say it was a pleasure keeping your company, and I really hope that you have enjoyed keeping my company as much as I enjoyed keeping yours. And on a more serious note, I wish you the natural pleasures of life that fills your heart and enlighten your spirit within. If all is well, I'll be back with you on Monday morning. Spicy is wishing you a great weekend. Remember, coming up, City View with the man Kalai. If you want to make a contribution, 4565967 is the number to call. Our WhatsApp number is 498-3802. And our Magic Jack number is 718-734-5615. Remember, we are 98% love and 2% radio. Once again, have a wonderful weekend.
Started falling straight on the rocks. Give me straight on the rocks. I want it straight on the rocks. I will tell you my problem. Straight on the rocks. Give me straight on the rocks. I want it straight on the rocks. I will tell you my problem. I found my husband with a woman. This thing hurt me, cause I just my knee. While she relating to me, begging for my sympathy, she was falling, started falling, straight on the rocks.